Hello, my friends. Hello, it's Matthew Street, and as always, welcome to my channel. I truly appreciate you being here. And folks, I want to talk about a new CD set that I just received. Folks, this is fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. You get 3 CDs with it, and I'm hoping you'll enjoy it. It's called Robin Lane and the Chartbusters. Many years ago, the complete Robin Lane and the Chartbusters collection. Folks, Robin Lane, let me give you a quick tutorial. I don't want this video to be too long. Now, I got into Robin Lane and the Chartbusters back in the early 80s when they had 2 major label releases on, I believe it was Warner Brothers. Yes, Warner Brothers. Let me go back a little bit. Quick tutorial. Robin Lane was living out in Laurel Canyon area of California back in the late 60s, I believe coming into the early 70s. She knew all the greats out there at that time, you know, any of the big musical names. She was friendly with them. She was involved with them. She even sang on a Neil Young record back in the late 60s, some background vocals. Eventually she married Andy Summers from the Police, if you can believe it. And this is before the Police really took off in the late 70s. They were married for a few years, got divorced. Anyway, by the late 70s, she had made her way out of California across the United States to the Boston area. Now, at that time, in the late 70s, in the Boston area, the music scene was pretty happening. I mean, a lot of cool rock and roll, punk, new wave clubs. Bands were really hot. I mean, the Cars came out of that scene, as you know. And at that time, in the late 70s, she had a lot of musical pedigree and talent, Robin Lane. Her dad was named Ken Lane. He was a pianist and songwriter for Dean Martin and other greats of that era, of that ilk. And so she had the pedigree, and she was a great songwriter, I should say. She formed the Chartbusters with Eisner Brebner on guitar, Leroy Radcliffe on guitar, Tim Jackson on drums, and Scott Berenwald on bass. And they all sang background vocals and stuff. They're great musicians. And they started rocking around the greater Boston area, and they picked up traction very quickly, folks. They had a lot of labels looking at them, and they eventually got signed to Warner Brothers Records and released their debut self-titled album, Robin Lane and the Chartbusters, in 1980. Great, great album, folks. You know me and the music I like. If you like just cool rock and roll, power pop. I don't want to say it's exactly like a female version of Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, but think of those early Tom Petty records, his first couple of records with the Heartbreakers, you know, that raw, rocking, power pop style jangle. You'll get that on Robin Lane and the Chartbusters, okay? So in that sense, I like to use the Tom Petty influence as well on this album. Definitely power pop, though, and good rock and roll. Came out in 1980, has a song on it called When Things Go Wrong. I'll show you that. I don't know if you see that good, but When Things Go Wrong was the 11th video. Too bad it wasn't the first. It had more notoriety, which I think was Video Killed the Radio Star by the Buggles. MTV, the 11th video played when MTV premiered in August of 81. That song, When Things Go Wrong by Robin Lane and the Chartbusters, was played and did very well on MTV. It was an MTV staple in the early 80s. After this album came out, they released a live EP of like 5 or 6 songs in 1981. And there's more of that. I'm going to talk about the box set in a minute here. But then in 1981, they released a follow-up to the self-titled on Warner Brothers Records. This is called Robin Lane and the Chartbusters, Imitation Life. And there's a picture of the band there. Another great slice of rock and roll, early 80s power pop, Petty influenced. You know, she's a great songwriter, very rootsy, folksy songwriter. I think she took those influences from her Laurel Canyon days back in the late 60s and brought it up into the early 80s with the power pop rock stylings, new wave that was going on then, because she's a great songwriter. The band is firing on all cylinders. Just great, great stuff, folks. So awesome album as well. And these are albums I have and knew about back in the early 80s. She was from the Boston area. So she was like a homie, you know. They formed in the Boston area, and I thought they were the greatest thing. But I kind of lost touch with them after a little bit of a while. She released a self-titled Robin Lane without the Chartbusters called Heart Connection EP in 1984. I didn't get that at the time. They did reunite in the early 2000s for an album called Peace of Mind, which is not in this box set, which I'm going to talk about. And she's done a lot of solo stuff, Robin. She did an album as recently as this year, which I intend to check out very soon. It's called Dirt Road to Heaven by Robin Lane. I want to check that out. It's supposed to be a fabulous album. I've read some reviews about it. So now we come, a couple of years ago, they put out this great set, folks, because it collects everything in one package. You don't need to search out these vinyl albums, and you're getting everything, or the rare EPs. It's all here, folks. It's all on this 3-disc set, and I think you'll love it. If you're a fan of that style, you know what kind of music I like. If you're with me, if you're on my team for the power pop, rock and roll, new wave, pop music, great guitar-orientated rock, you're going to love this, folks. So here's the inside. All right. And I'm going to tell you what's on it in a second. And then it opens up like this, where you see basically their discography right here. There's the first album. There's Imitation Life. There's her EP 1984, Heart Connection. And then the EP Live right there, the 5 or 6 song EP Live is, I believe it's 5 songs right there. Closes up like this. You do get a cool little book with it too, I must say. There's Robin. Here's the back. I put the hype sticker on there just to save it. There is a documentary about Robin and her life right there. You can check that out. But just great stuff in here. There's Robin. Awesome. A lot of stuff about the career of the Chartbusters. And folks, you'll really love this. I mean, if you've never heard of them before, I say give them an opportunity here. And here's your perfect chance to get it all in one spot. I mean, this is absolutely fabulous stuff, folks. Let me tell you what you're getting here. So on disc 1, which is really nice, you're getting both major label albums on one disc. You're getting Robin Lane and the Chartbusters from 1980 and Imitation Life from 1981, both on the first disc. Now, on the second disc, you're getting the Heart Connection EP that she released in 1984, plus all the material that didn't make it on that EP, which would have ended up being one full album back in 1984. So you're getting the original, I believe it was 4 songs on that EP. You're getting an additional 8 or so songs here, and you'd have like almost a full 3rd album of Robin Lane from that period. So that's on here. And then you're getting some really cool stuff from, it looks like, what is this here? I'm sorry, my vision's really going, folks. Oh, demos and studio rarities. You're getting a bunch of those on the second disc as well. And then the third disc, you're getting that live EP from 1981, which had 5 songs on it. Now it's expanded to get an additional, you're getting almost like 15 or so. I mean, it's like a 22-song live disc on that last one down there at the bottom, as you can see. So you're getting not only the original EP from 1981 that was live, you're getting like 15 more tracks live. Just, yeah, balls to the wall rock and roll, Robin Lane and the Chartbusters live, folks. You can't beat it. It's great stuff. So, folks, I don't want to keep you too long here. I wanted to be out of here by 10 minutes. New set I just picked up, a couple of years old. Robin Lane and the Chartbusters, many years ago. The complete collection. All the albums, all the live stuff, the EP, unreleased stuff, rarities. It's all here, folks. So check it out. Check out some Robin Lane and the Chartbusters. I'll put the link to their website below. They are still out and about doing stuff. Every once in a while, they'll do reunion shows in the greater Boston area. Robin's still from Western Massachusetts. She's still around, and they're still rocking, folks. So that's it. Check out some Robin Lane and the Chartbusters. You will not be sorry. Thanks, folks. And hey, you know what? Go listen, sample, and let me know what you think. Take care. Bye-bye.